Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today is Thursday, August 21st, 2024. And again, welcome to the show. And Jeff Rahm will be joining me shortly. And all right. And I have Buffy in the backstage to give me a little hand with things. As you see, I have my black backdrop up. So I'm getting there. Just be patient. It'll be even better. I just got off with Jeff and give you guys an update. If you ordered a book, softcover book, I have purchased them. They will be delivered around about 18 days is what they're telling me. As soon as I get them, I'll package them all up, shoot them out to you guys. They will probably be in your mailbox mid-September. So I skipped Wednesday, did I? Is today Wednesday? Oh, yeah, today is Wednesday. It's been a busy day. Every day is a busy day. So thanks, Steph, for reminding me that today's not Thursday, it's Wednesday. It has been a long week. It's been a long 2 weeks, actually. And then Monday threw everything off for me because I went in to get my back done. And I was up until 2 a.m. last night working and up bright and early again, trying to get things done for you guys. I have a video coming up after this that I pre-recorded with Jeff and has some very sensitive topics in it. It more than likely I'll show it on YouTube and then I'll have to pull it down. I'm going to pre-warn you folks. It is pretty graphic about what is being described by Jeff. So please be aware when you do go watch that second video. It may or may not be something that you want to hear. Once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. So you've been forewarned, folks. Noel's been sending me some new material. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Today, I will. I have no idea whether I slept or not, Bear. I know my eyes were closed. That much I can give you. Let me send Jeff. And we're still working things out as far as scheduling, guests, and all that. So bear with us. We will get this down to where it will be seamless, and I will be able to give you some updates and post a scheduling so you know when and who's coming on. Oh no, Eagle One, you're back with a new alias today. He's the OG of BS. Okay. Well, I'm glad you think that way, Eagle One. Go get a new identity because you're gone, bro. I just love trolls. They're so fun to play with. So, yeah, we did a great show with Noel. As I told you guys yesterday, I had never spoken to him before, so I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know how to quite keep him focused on the topic. I will do more with him, try to be more specific get down to some minutia details for you guys about what that looks like. Thank everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Jeff is going to express this to you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and expound upon it now. Jeff got a communique from one of the alphabet agencies, and what they told him is that the revaluation, the RV, would have already occurred if the social media influencers, the gurus, the patriots, whatever you want to call them, the bloggers, the posters, they've been putting out all this information. Some of it has had kernels of truth in it, and due to that, it has caused delays. Why? Because if the good guys have the information and they put it in the public, now the bad guys have that information. This is why I tell you flat out, all these people telling you this stuff like Phil Godlewski, that guy's so full of shit, it's pathetic. But yet people still want to listen to that clown. If you have real intel from a real intel agency and you put it out in the public and it's top secret or classified or has some type of security clearance, they're going to come lock your ass up. That's how this world works, especially in America. So don't think these people are giving you, 100% pure information. A lot of it's bullshit. So they can get clicks, they can get views, they can get more subscribers, they can get more people that they can con, grift, and scam. So every time you see somebody out there throwing out a date, it's this Muslim holiday, it's this 3-day weekend, or it's this event or that, all you're doing is stepping on your own toes. So we have to stop doing that. As much as we would like to give you as much information every single minute of every single day as we get it, sometimes we can't. I've expressed to you many, many, many times that Mark has a lot more information than he is willing to give publicly. There are a lot of dynamics that participate that you can receive that information. Some is their own safety, health and safety. Another is the security of their own revaluation. And then, it's other dynamics that work. So don't think for a minute that you're not getting all the information. And I don't know what happened to Jeff. Let me get over here and just get to the chat. Welcome you guys. Tamara, hello. Welcome to the show. Buffy, I see you. Elvis, thanks for coming back. Fed Up Patriot. Bear, Mr. Lee, Quantum Patel, Matt, L, Mr. Steve, Britt Baker, Steph, Savvy, Ms. One Drop, Alessandro, nope. Let me send them a new link. Give me 1 second. Of course, I got a million tabs opened up again. Okay, got that done. Let me check over there. Nothing. All right. I'll get back to you guys. All right. Alessandro, RV News. Yes, Jeff is coming with that. Meow Meow, Starlight Waters. Chief Fast Horse is my fiance's uncle. Thank you for having him on our show. Yeah, I'll have him on some more. Junior Disciple. Lisa BH. Bruce Summers. Morano. The Synarctic. Jim Humphreys, Big John, Gold Blueberries, Jill Emanuel, Wample, Deborah Dyer, Robbie Buck. All right, I'm going to address this right here, Robbie. Floyd, then Chief Fast Horse is no better than Phil. Way too many rumors. Many people are desperate, so credibility is important. All right, I was hoping to have him on yesterday. He was having phone issues, even though he was at the casino. When I first spoke to him, he was at home, and he was like I'm waiting on my car to go be a gaming commissioner at one of my casinos. I'm like, okay. And he goes, my limo's here. And he jumped in the limo. Then he called me from the limo, and then he called me from when he was at the casino. Then he hit the jackpot, and that was the last I heard from him. He was supposed to go get a new phone. And there's Jeff in the background. All right, I see you, brother. Send that link to Mr. Merlin. So on the chief, what he is doing is, I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but he's going to the Democratic National Convention to speak to the Democrats and basically, tell them what's up, that he has claimed all the land. So he's out there actually trying to really do something for everybody, whether you realize that or not. He's making a stand. He sacrificed his life for the betterment of mankind, especially for the indigenous Native Americans here in the United States of America. Tells you guys things. You're not always getting the entire story. And I don't even always get the entire story. So we have to take all this information and safeguard it. Because he's sharing this information with you guys. And you're more than happy to believe anything he says. You're more than happy to not believe anything he says. That's your own free will. Okay. I'm not trying to make you believe anything that he says. He's not trying to make you believe anything he says. You're more than welcome to, make your own decisions. I encourage everybody, do your own research. Don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe anything you see. Don't believe anything you read. Go vet it yourself. Go get your own peace of mind. Don't allow somebody else to give you peace of mind. Go earn it. That's what I have to do. That's why I do this show. That's why I have Jeff on here. That's why I have Merlin on here. That's why I had Noel on here. That's why I have Chief on here, Dr. Lisa, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let me back up. And man, this guy, this troll, he's just, if he would spend half that time and energy and money that he uses to come play in these shows, he would be a multimillionaire. or she, whoever it is. I don't quite understand that. Why you would just waste time to come poo-poo everything that somebody else is saying just to satisfy your own whatever. I don't even get that. Doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I can't put that together. I just don't understand why people would find that entertaining. I mean, if you got burned by somebody, you should take that up with them. Go find your legal remedy, a legal recourse. Take it to arbitration. Don't come in somebody's room and on their show that has nothing to do with you. We've never done anything to you. Nothing. Except try to get your comments off our show. Because we don't want distractions. We'd like to have a smooth flowing show where we can provide information. But you want to come over here and be an infant terrible and act like a juvenile delinquent. And then hide behind some anonymous name. And you want to steal somebody else and denigrate somebody else while you're doing this. I can't express to you how terrible you make yourself look.
I want to chime in there, Floyd. Fed Up Patriot and several other people have commented that they're probably paid. There are people that are paid to do this. There are people that are paid to study content creators. I learned that through my Melanie Breris experience. There are people who will pay and start cults and pay certain cults to start sleeper cells and to go after certain people. I plan on doing an info dump about Kiwi Farms. If you want to know something now, I can drop something in there. But Kiwi Farms is known to be a hub for people to go and gather to troll other people and harass people on the internet. Okay, I yield.
All right. So, yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand that. So even if they are being paid, really, is that the job you really want? Is that going to work with your karma? Is that really what you want to do in this world between good and evil? You want to be on the side of evil, bad, negative forces, frequencies? Because that's not me. Now I'm going to address this issue right here. What's up with Prince? That should be Prince. Well, it might be Prince Elizabeth. Who knows? They can identify whoever they want to be now. Versus Jeff. It's very confusing. She does not seem legit to me, and Jeff is being smeared like he has got a sordid past. Anyone have any insight? I addressed this yesterday, but I will allow Jeff to address it. So Wolverine has posted that this Jeffrey Rahm, who is the asset manager for the Rodriguez estate, is the same as the terminated securities broker who committed fraud, ripping off his clients. Those are two separate, independent Jeffrey Rahms that don't know each other, that live in different jurisdictions. Okay? So without doing his homework, without DYOR, doing his own research, Wolverine posted something that is false, 100% patently false. Now, you're more than welcome to go listen to Wolverine and hang on every word that he says. We know that guy's been wrong so many times. He's scamming people. They subscribe to his channel. Y'all are making him a millionaire, if not a multimillionaire. Go knock yourself out. If y'all want to give your money away to some liar, grifter, and scammer, by all means, it's your money. Go spend it how you want to spend it. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. If you want to believe the rumors, the lies, the grifters, knock yourself out. This is how I vet people. When people post their information, their full name, I Google them and I search their name. I look for every source that I can to vet who they are, who they've been, what their presence on the internet is. Elizabeth, there's not much on her. She just kind of came out of the woodwork a couple years ago, and now she's an executor, a princess, a queen, an heir, a beneficiary. I don't know. She's just taken all the titles. Is she legit? I don't know. The offer on the table is, Elizabeth, you're more than welcome to come on my show anytime, 24/7. Call me. My phone number is available on my website. Most everybody has it. It's in my videos. You can email me, TheFearlessFloydShow@yahoo.com. This is the opportunity offer to you, Elizabeth, Marcos or Ruiz, Rodriguez, whatever your last name is, because we really don't know, because you seem to have several, which is another red flag that you should be looking at, folks. The open invitation, ma'am, all exclusive, paid. That means your airfare, your transportation, your lodging, your meals, everything, all inclusive. All you have to do is show up. Round trip airfare from wherever you're at to Manila, Philippines, transportation to the Rodriguez Estate headquarters. If you're going to spend the night, lodging, meals, and transportation back to the airport, and then your flight back home, wherever that is. All expenses paid. And when you're there at the Rodriguez Estate headquarters, Interpol will be there. Jeffrey Rahm will be there. And it will be recorded on a YouTube Live on this show. You're more than welcome to take up on that offer. The original offer was for 2 weeks. You've already utilized one of those weeks. We still have not heard from you. Either you're a fraud or you're a coward. There's only 2 choices there. You either come out and accept the opportunity and an invitation, or you don't. And if you don't, you aren't who you say you are. Because if you say who you are, you would definitely want to come out and prove who you really are, if you think you're that person. Because that's what Jeff has done. He's put his money where his mouth is. You want to play games about who you are and what you really think your title and position is? Well, we put your money in your mouth for you, so you don't even have to spend a dime. It's all expenses paid, Elizabeth. So take us up on our offer. Again, TheFearlessFloydShow@yahoo.com. If you want to email me and set this up, I'll make it happen for you, ma'am. Be happy to do that. So, Jeff, you ready to go? Make sure he's ready before I add him to the stage. And apparently, whoever this troll is has a real hard on for Mark Z. Dr. Kia has her credentials. Well, yeah, I have. You don't think I have them? You don't think they've been sent to me? My audience sends me stuff all the time, and I have it, and we vetted it. And I can play you a nice little video from Sheriff Judd over in Florida talking about the Moor that they executed. So if you want to go read Elizabeth's paperwork where it's all tied into the Moors, and then one of the acts that is cited, well, guess who co-wrote that act? Chief Fast Horse, of all people. He laughed when I sent it to him. He goes, oh, yeah, I helped co-write that. Oh, okay. This is what you're dealing with. Okay. Just because I can go show you all kind of stuff. That doesn't make it factual. I can show you a check right now. I did a process with Cologuard for a colon test, and they sent me a check back. Apparently, I must have discharged it. Does that make it a real thing? It worked one time. So don't get caught up just because somebody shows you something that, oh, hey, that's real. Oh my God, she's a real princess, a real queen. Did you go vet that paperwork? Did you go contact the clerk's office where it's filed or the recorder or wherever? Did you vet it that far? Or did you just take it for face value that, oh, because Kia Pruitt's a doctor and she's got a show and a bunch of viewers that I can take whatever she says as 100% fact. I can accept everything her guests say as 100% fact. I tell you all, don't believe anything you hear, see, or read. Go do your own research. You ready, Jeff? He's talking to somebody. I don't know who he's talking to. Not talking to me. You ready? All right.
I was talking to you. I didn't know you couldn't hear me. Hi, Floyd.
How you doing, sir?
Good, thank you.
All right. Well, what's going on?
Oh, gosh, there's a world of things going on out there. What do you want to talk about? Ask me what's going on. We could be here for weeks. But did you have something specific in mind?
Well, everybody wants to talk about, the RV news and all that. I've already addressed the whole, blogger issue and the rumors and, how we need to squelch all that we've actually been stepping on our own feet every time that we repost a rumor or whatever.
Right. Yeah. We're telling the bad guys what's going to happen. I mean, most of the information out there is psyop, disinformation, intentional misleading of all kind. But now and then we get real information. And what do? We tell our readers and our listeners, but we're also telling the bad guys. So my 3 letters told me yesterday that had we all kept our mouths shut and stopped telling the bad guys what we're doing, that this probably would have happened a long time ago. Hello, Floyd, Moonbuggy to Floyd. Come in, Floyd.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm reading the comments. I'm trying to catch up on the comments.
No, I didn't know if I had a cell drop or what, but hey, I saw one of the comments was about Elizabeth or anyway, like I had a sorted pass. No, I don't have a sorted pass. I'm an aerospace engineer, not a what'd they say I was? Some sort of a stockbroker or something?
They said you were a securities broker. That's Jeffrey.
Huh.
Man, I'm trying not to give your middle name with his middle name.
Yeah, my middle name's Allen, Allen, Pennsylvania. You put it on the freaking YouTube. Anyway,
yeah, I didn't put your middle name.
Thanks a lot. But anyhow, I'm an aerospace engineer. I live in Pennsylvania. I've never been to Minnesota. Here, there's lots of lakes. I'm a pilot. Love to go shoot some landings in those lakes. But no, I don't know squat about Hollywood or stockbrokers or any of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I've been a businessman, an entrepreneur, and an aerospace engineer all my life. And it had nothing to do with Minnesota or the financial world.
Right. So you've never been a securities broker. You don't have a securities license, which can easily be checked. All you got to do is contact the SEC, find out if Jeffrey Allen Rahm has a securities license or has ever had a securities license. And of course, the answer you will receive is that's a negative.
No, he never did. Her. I designed this airplane, and we produced that for many, many years. An all composite 6-seat SUV for the family that was booming and setting sales records everywhere. But along came 2008, the market changed, and Obama just about sold off the estuary to all pilots and the creation of all aviation here in the United States. He started selling it all off to China and making it impossible, expensive to train, yeah. So I was in the business since I was very, very young, a child, and it all crashed in 2008. Everything went to hell. That was when Obama got elected.
Right.
Everybody we were building airplanes for wanted their money back. Everybody felt like Jimmy Stewart at the at the bank window. But Tom, I don't have your money. It's over there in your wings. And Bill, I don't have your money. It's over there in your engine. I didn't take people's money and sit on it. I took their money and I started building their airplanes with it. So as we got orders, we built airplanes. We didn't just hold their money. So along comes 2008, and they want their money back because Obama's in office now or running, and that was the beginning to the end. I sold the company, the country crashed, and general aviation went in the crapper.
Right.
Yeah, at the time, I was into renewable energy at the same time, also opening up the world's largest renewable energy park outside of Kingman, Arizona, and same thing happened. Even though Obama was the pusher of all green, the banks weren't buying it. They wouldn't make any more loans. So I put $25 million of my own money into the world's largest project to save all of California, and then you couldn't get any loans to build it. So 2008 was a game changer for me. But no, I've never been in Minnesota. Never been in the state.
Let's talk about your aerospace background, because a lot of people are asking, what brand of aircraft, what else? Somebody else. What's one of those planes cost? That type of thing. So, obviously, you went to school for aerospace training, got a degree.
I did.
In engineering.
I did. And when I got out of school, I got a job with one of the major aerospace companies, and I had designs for a supersonic tip. I had designs for quiet exhausts. I had all kinds of tricks and ideas that I wanted to bring to the industry for manufacturing. And so I got a job, and they said, yeah, great enthusiasm, kid. Said, here, design this hinge, stuck me in a cube, and I began to hate it more and more and more every day. It's not that I didn't learn anything. It's just that what I was bringing to the table to them took them 30 years to come out with. I see it now out in the industry, the things I graduated with, and said, here, look at this great idea. And they didn't want to look at it. They, think of you as a kid right out of school. So I went to work in the aerospace industry. I went to work in multiple industries. I worked for Hewlett-Packard and managed 415 people on 3 shifts in Fort Collins, Colorado. I worked at many of the majors. I worked for Motorola. I worked in the telecom communications industry, high-tech end of it. I had great interest in microwave industry, laser industry. I had a lot of experience, and one day just missed airplanes so much. I packed up and moved to Florida, and I opened up Aircraft Specialties Inc. in Edgewater, Florida, in a T hangar. And I grew that to 15,000 square feet and 40 men and 20 airplanes, and we were booming. And then along came the engines that those airplanes were using had bad cranks. They were breaking a lot of cranks and killing a lot of people. So suddenly you couldn't get any insurance for that industry. We were building Lancers. I built 26 Lancer 4s. 25 of them were pressurized. I built 2 Super Stallions. I built Glass Airs, Glass Stars. If it was glass and it went fast and it went in the air, I built it, fixed it, or flew it. And so finally, when the industry changed, we couldn't get insurance for the Lancer market anymore due to the crank failures of the Continental 550 engine, TSIO 550 engines, just, bad metallurgy batch. They fixed it, but the insurance went through the roof. The market changed. The airplane tanked. And so I was literally sitting in a restaurant with a friend of mine, crying in my beer about our business going down. And I drew up a new airplane, the barroom napkin story. I literally drew the airplane up and said, this is what I think would sell, and here's why, and here's why we're unique, and here's what we're going to do. So I began self-funding and finding partners, and we funded a brand new airplane that was called the Four Winds aircraft. It was a 6-seat high wing. If you're out there in the industry, I would compare it to a all composite Cessna 210, turbocharged, and we had non-turboed and turboed, 300 horse. It went 200 knots at 1,000 feet with almost gross weight up high, and actually it went a little faster. We put on a 350 horse Lycoming TSIO 540 out of a Piper Malibu, and the test pilot jumped in it and came down with this terrorized look on his face. He said, "You can't sell this to the public." He said, "This thing just went up 4,500 feet a minute." Well, this guy's an airline pilot. He's got, Boeing's going up 3,000 feet a minute, 3,500 feet a minute, 4,000 feet a minute, but nothing in the industry. The common rate of climb is about 1,000 feet a minute. This rate tape is climbing 4,000, 4,500 feet a minute, and was going 240 knots at sea level with that big engine on there, and it was the only one we put that engine on. But in 2008, when Obama was coming in, I mean, we were booming. I grew the airplane industry again from a small start with the Lancer business. I grew it to 54,000 square feet, 100 men, an avionics department, a weld shop for our interior cages, composite shop with a clean room and walk-in freezers and CNC cutting machines. I had a $100,000 CNC cutting machine, bang out the airplane in 45 minutes with part numbers and directional arrows. We vacuum bagged, oven baked, pre-preg. I could sit here and go through all the nomenclature of, but every kind of composite at the time, but all aerospace quality. We ended up building target drones for the United States government. We built a flying wing for the DEA that was a marijuana spotter. It would autonomously take off with a camera in its belly and fly a lawnmower grid over Humboldt, California, where they grow a lot of weed. And the camera could spot the color differences in the weed. So as it flew a lawnmower grid, when it saw the color change, it would put a check mark on the grid, so they would know where to go back and do it. But it was about a 12-foot wingspan and a 150-pound radio-controlled airplane. So the FAA squashed everybody's interest in flying drones until more recently. That was early in the industry. We were one of the pioneers. I've got a big background in the aerospace industry and the high tech and composites and technology space, the renewable energy space. And I also work with the majors year in and year out on aerospace systems, propulsion systems, communication systems, high altitude communication systems. I eventually started writing white papers for the State Department that I can't really, I could tell you that they're tactical response papers to what if this happens, what do you suggest? What if that happens, what do you suggest? From an aerospace perspective, because we were one of the early companies up there putting up drones. I've been flying radio-controlled airplanes competition for 40 years. So this was the biggest radio-controlled airplane I ever got to fly. Heck, you got to put your kid in it and take them for a ride, but naturally, I wouldn't do that. And we eventually sold the program to Raytheon and sold the target drones to the Army. And it was a great career until 2008 when the whole thing tanked. I sold the company. The whole country tanked. I sold the company for $6.5 million, moved it to Morganton, North Carolina. We took a $250,000 deposit. I paid all the guys. I paid all our vendors. We had, had a big party barbecue. Well, I always had barbecues at my company, but paid all the guys handsomely and paid all the vendors, had a big party, and then never saw another dime. These two military guys, a lawyer, and one of their funding guys. I mean, I ran it myself for 8 years. I don't know what happened, but they couldn't swing it. Ended up with class action lawsuits and ran the whole thing into the ground. So that's what happened at Four Winds Aircraft. But great times. I mean, it's on the cover of magazines and cover of Trade a Plane, and I was a speaker at Sun and Fun, and a speaker at Oshkosh, and a speaker at all the smaller events. And we were giving Young Eagles, which are Cub Scouts for aviation kids, we were giving Young Eagles rides and flying all over the country. I had a test pilot, I had a sales pilot. We had a great time. It was really awesome. But it was a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. You can Google just one of the bumps and bruises. Google Four Winds Aircraft crashes into Federal Reserve Bank of Miami. That was 2002, somewhere right in there. Anyway, just to prove that, no, I was not in Minnesota.
So basically, the economy got you out of the aerospace business?
Let's be clear. Obama, the economy under previous presidents didn't matter. Obama came along and not one person was going to, that discretionary income to buy $300,000 airplanes all went away. And not only did it go away, but the people I was building airplanes for wanted their money back. And that's what I say. I was like Jimmy Stewart at the bank window. I don't have your money. It's over there in your wings, and it's over there in your engine. And, I'm not standing here with your cash. I mean, the deal was you pay me and I build your airplane. I'm not standing here holding your money. So, everybody wanted their money back, and the industry completely changed. The airplane market was dead. Whatever was left in the United States, Obama was selling off to China left and right. People in the aerospace and in the general aviation community were running for cover and, trying to cut a deal with any country to keep alive. But, the whole industry changed when Obama came in. It just completely changed. Every corporation, every sales, every airplane, all the gas, all the parts, distribution, manufacturing, ownerships, everything completely went in the toilet.
Wow. That's crazy. I had no idea that happened.
Oh, yeah. Cost me $25 million of my own personal money, life savings, and the $6.5 million I didn't get paid when I sold my company, which I was driven into selling, and there was no choice. So there you go. I'm not from Minnesota. I don't know anything about Minnesota. It's got a lot of lakes, and sure as hell don't know and don't want to know anything about stockbrokers or security broker or something. Whatever the guy is, it's not me.
Right. And Queen, I know you're ready for some RV news over here in the chat. You've left multiple comments. And the reason I've allowed Jeff to address his background and bio as a aerospace engineer, airplane builder, pilot, is to assure you folks, okay, that these two Jeffrey Rahms, one that Wolverine has tried to appeal upon you, that is the Jeffrey Rahm that's in front of me on my show. The two are not the same. I just wanted to quash that for you guys.
What's Wolverine's name? Come on, Wolverine, put your driver's license on YouTube.
And obviously,
come on. I mean, I'm trying to be transparent.
If you're not seeing full transparency of the person you're listening to, you should probably go find somebody else to listen to who is transparent and who doesn't hide anything. And when they are approached with something about their past, they address it up front. Don't try to hide or beat around the bush or give you some answer, but definitely not acceptable. So that's why I did this little vetting with Jeff to show you guys, and I did it yesterday with his driver's license to say, hey, these two individuals are not the same people. So don't think that they are. If you hear those rumors, please, you've seen it with your own eyes, you've heard it with your own ears, please suppress those rumors. We would appreciate it. I know Jeff would appreciate it. And Wolverine probably won't, but hey, he made his own bed. He can sleep in it, as far as I'm concerned.
I think I talked to Mark. Mark and I agree. I guess Wolverine's heart's in the right place. He means well. Just got to stop making all those promises and getting people, changing their lives based on what he's saying to expect. That's all.
Right. Aaron D wants to know if you ever flew charter flights to the Bahamas out of New Smyrna, Florida.
That's where the airport was. Yeah, New Smyrna was my final base. And no, I didn't fly them, but I was on a lot of them. And we flew to the Bahamas a lot. My job at work, I'd show up 7 a.m., put on a parachute, jump in the airplane, and go fly it for an hour or two. It's like a cup of coffee every morning. Somebody asked how expensive they were. About $250 was a cheap one. $350 was an expensive one. It was really predicated on the engine and instrumentation you put in it.
Right. She wants to know all things Judy TV. Why do you keep mentioning Obama?
Because that's when the country it was a pivotal change. Year in and year out, 25 years in the same business, president after president after president, consistently the economy continued to roll along. But I never saw anything like it. 6 months before Obama got elected, he announced that he might even be running. So here I have a steady pattern of sales and a steady pattern of success in the renewable business, in the aerospace industry, in the composites industry. You could count on what you were going to make year in, year out, month in, month out, very consistent. So along comes Obama, and when he announces, not when he became president, just when he was announced that he might think of running, my sales dropped from 42 airplanes a year, or composite sales, or whatever, military sales, drone sales, Four Winds aircraft sales, whatever it was, repairs, everything took about a 20% quick pause. Everything took this huge drop across the board in everything that I consistently watched for years. And I thought, well, man, that's really weird. But people were nervous. The consumer confidence was through the floor on Obama, because he only had, because why? I don't know. Everybody had a different reason. But my speculation is that because he was a community organizer, nobody who knew who he was or where he came from, he had no years of experience, not a gray hair on his head. And this made people nervous. So they took a pause. And that was where I could first see the first Obama drop. But when he announced he was running, my sales in aircraft dropped down to like 2. And my sales on repairs, my sales on drones, they stopped all NGOs and or non-government organizations. That was me. Right. But they stopped everything took a freeze while this guy was suddenly running. I mean, from military to consumer confidence to the people that I was building airplanes for and selling airplanes to stopped. Okay. I didn't make Obama do that. I'm only telling you what I witnessed. Okay. And then when Obama actually became president, every single client I had wanted their money back. And then when I said, look, it can't be money back. We're under contract. I'm building you an airplane. And they said, well, then I want to sell my airplane. I want to sell my project. I want my money back for my last check. I mean, I'm telling you, it was like Jimmy Stewart in A Wonderful Life. I was sitting there at the bank window begging people to please understand that I didn't create this economy. I don't have your money. I'm building your airplane with it. So why do I keep bringing up Obama? Because it just became this incremental, wow, he mentioned he was alive. Wow, he mentioned he was running. Wow, he became president. And when he became president, the aircraft industry completely trashed. I have pictures of me on the wing of an airplane as a baby. I was flying IFR, instrument flight rules, when I was 8 because I couldn't see out. My father just had me steering, hold a heading, hold an altitude, watch the engine, keep an eye on the oil temperature, bop, bop, bop. At an 8-year-old, I was doing what airline pilots get today because I couldn't see out. Not because I wanted to, I just couldn't see out. The big computer game. My entire life, I've been in aviation. My whole family's in aviation. My father's a famous aerobatic pilot. My uncle's a famous aerobatic pilot who died. Actually, was the head pilot for King Hussein in the Royal Jordanian Air Force, and he lived in the palace in Jordan for 2 years, and was killed when somebody missed a move, and he tried to make up for it and pulled out just a little too late, but died on the way to the hospital. I mean, my whole family's been in aviation, and it's really easy to see over a 50-year career how the economy was solid. Aviation was growing. The general aviation industry was solid. The kids were, learning more and more. And then boom, Obama, it incrementally went down, stopped. So I'm sorry if it offends you that I happen to notice, but it changed the lives of my ability to feed my children. It changed the lives of everybody in my family and everybody in the aerospace industry. I mean, the Gulf Coast and the aerospace coast were ghost towns, empty. So I'm sorry if I happen to notice that the real estate market went in the shit, and that nobody in the aerospace industry had a job, that everything came to a crawl, and that our lives were forever changed.
Right.
Why did I bring it up? I happened to notice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I couldn't help but. Garrido. Hello, Princess Elizabeth was on Dr. Kia Pruitt. She made many of the claims. According to Elizabeth, her mom is the right Queen of England.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're just going to leave that one right there. Let you make up your mind on that one. And Big John says, if the RV happens under the Biden administration, what's everyone going to say? And this would be your own opinion.
Oh, I actually heard when I was speaking yesterday to a 3-letter that was the one that asked me to please tell y'all to stop telling the bad guys what we're up to. But they also said that I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. They also told me what? Where was I going? I'm like, what I can't say and what I can say. What's the question again? I'm worried. Can I say
what happens if the RV happens under the Biden administration? What's everybody going to say?
Oh, that's what it was. He told me, he told me that there's actually an argument going on right now between the Republicans and the Democrats that under NASARA, the National Economic Securities and Reformation Act, that each household gets $25,000 per household, and they're arguing over who gets to take credit for that. Each household gets money back on all their interest on all their loans over all the years, and they're fighting over who gets to claim that they're responsible for it. In other words, it's been a Republican drive all the way down the field, and at the last minute, the bad guys are jumping in saying, all right, we lost, but now we're going to run in there and try to claim victory for it.
Right. Yep. I don't even know where to go with that one. So what's your opinion on, let's go ahead and address that elephant in the room. What's your opinion on what's going to happen to Joe Biden in these next 5 months or these next 2.5 months till the election? Are they going to 25th Amendment him? Is he going to voluntarily resign? Or is he just going to ride it out to the end? Or has there been some secret deal worked out between him and Harris that he resigns, Harris pardons him, pardons Hunter, pardons the rest of his family to step down and let Kamala take over as the 47th president?
Wow, that's an awful big question, and naturally, I don't know the answer. I mean, it'd just be my opinion. I have no idea. I'm told by Benjamin Fulford told me that Kamala is actually not Kamala, that's a mask. They are laughing at Kamala crowds. Even Trump's calling them fake crowds. They're paying homeless populations $150 a person to show up to the rallies, and that's why Trump's laughing away, saying that, look at the crowd. It's a fake crowd. And then, of course, in the background behind the crowd, they pulled up the United States Air Force jet. It's not even Air Force One, because they don't let Biden use Air Force One or go in the Pentagon. But that's Air Force Two out in the background, which, is even funnier that, the people say, oh, that's not true. Oh, really? Well, where's Air Force One? It's supposed to be a 747 back there, and it's not. But anyway, what's going to happen? I'm told that's not Joe. I mean, if you look at multiple pictures of Joe, Joe was in the industry for 40 years, and they made all kinds of comments about him being blue eyes, and all the ladies loved his blue eyes. Well, go to the debate. He's got black eyes for the debate. I mean, at least dark chocolate brown eyes for the debate. After the debate, when he fell, they said that he was in the hospital, and boom, he came out the next day, 6 inches taller and real spry. So I'm not sure who the actor is. I'm not sure if it's a mask. I don't know what's going on there. There's some serious shenanigans going on. 1 minute he can't walk, and the next minute he's jumping rope. I don't, and how to get taller. And then they showed him without his shirt on, and his tattoos were all missing. He has tattooed top left and right on his chest and arm, and they were missing. So I don't know. How do you change the color of your eyes so frequently, and your height and your tattoos and your energy level? I mean, I don't know. I mean, something. So I don't know what's going to go on. I know they suppressed the medbed technology because they don't want to keep the bad guys healthy. I know they're waiting until they're all out of the way to, global currency reset, RV, whatever you want to call it. Once this happens and the Nassar's in place, bad guys out, good guys in, I think that's when the med beds get released. I think that's when everything changes.
A lot of people seem to think that the Bidens, the Clintons, all these politicians are already dead or been executed and tried and or in Guantanamo.
So do I. As a pilot, I'm very familiar with pulling up the flight tracking radar, and I've been watching a number of planes coming in and out of Gitmo. Hell, they had a picture of a barge going down the Hudson River, a prison barge. They hold 8,000 prisoners, like 4 of them down there. Pull up Google Earth. If you can get a good, clean, recent Google Earth, you can actually see them outside. You can also see the Chinese building bases down there. Chinese are building bases, so are the Russians in Cuba. Unheard of. JFK would be rolling in his grave. Last time the Russians even came close to Cuba, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis. Biden, he just let them roll right on in and start building military bases. Both of them. Yeah.
It's a crazy world we're in right now.
Sell out.
Right.
Country's been sold piece by piece, year after year, criminal by criminal. The reason they don't like Ronnie, our president, 1980 president, Ronald Reagan. The reason they didn't like Ronald Reagan is because they couldn't control him. He couldn't be bought. He had plenty of money as an actor and popularity, and he was a governor. And the reason they don't like Trump, he can't be bought. He's going against them. The reason they sunk the Titanic was to kill everybody against the formation of the Central Reserve Bank in 2013. I mean, right before the Titanic sailed, all the Rothschilds got off. They got all their competitor bankers on there. They got everybody in opposition of a central bank on there. They threw this grandiose party. And then the survivors of it, the insurance companies, he killed their husbands. And then the wives that owned the insurance companies had to pay off on the Titanic. And he bought most of the insurance companies and the banks up off of the widows. I mean, J.P. Morgan, holy cow, slam dunked it all.
Between him and Rockefeller, they pretty much sewed up the United States of America.
Ruined it.
Sheesh. Yeah, absolutely. As a pilot, do you see the Earth as flat or as a round globe?
It's a round globe. It's a sphere. I've been up at 44,000 feet at nighttime, and you can clearly see the curvature in the Earth. You can go down to the ocean and stand there staring out at the horizon and flash your eyes left to right, and you'll see the curve in the Earth standing at the ocean. And let's face it. I mean, I like the whole flat Earth thing. I'm willing to, talk about it. But how do you keep the water from spilling off the edge? I don't know. Big plexiglass. But anyway, let's talk about if it were a flat Earth, wouldn't the sun come up and down in California and on the East Coast and West Coast at the same time? Why is there a 3-hour delay? Well, from the air, I can watch the light as I fly along, looking down on the Earth. I can watch the light, fly ahead of me in the curve and the ground get lighter and lighter, darker and darker. I mean, I've seen it all my life. You can chase the sunset. You can chase the sunrise with an airplane. You'll lose, of course, but unless you're the SR-71, 72, but you'll lose.
Right. Somebody's asking about clones.
Yeah.
You know anything about clones?
I know everything about them. What do you want to believe? That's the question.
What do you want to believe?
But it started in 1933. They were called synthetics.
That was
so they experimented with synthetics. Well, you don't think that they made that cheap in Ireland and stopped there? Oh, no. That was just when it went public. But in 1933, they had clones. They just grew people. I don't think they were as sophisticated as they are today, of course, but, probably 1 in 10 took root, grew, and turned into somebody that was walking and talking. But back at the time, the technology wasn't as sophisticated, and they were more like body doubles that they could use in public for pictures, but they couldn't fool anybody. I don't think they could grow them fast enough. And they had a lot of flaws. They didn't look right. I read a lot about this. Hitler was big into it. Like Hitler, that we thought was killed, that wasn't Hitler. That was his clone. So they dressed him up. It had his DNA. I mean, it was, all the components they need. And then Hitler lived out the rest of his life in South and Central America and Antarctica and Brazil and Chile. So they say, as the story goes. But they've been around since 1933. Today, synthetics, or what we call clones, the skin's gotten a lot better. The ability to grow them more rapidly has gotten a lot better. And when you can grow them quicker, you have more time to educate them. Now, they still lack a lot of the qualities. Like, for instance, after Nancy Pelosi was executed at Gitmo, I guess that was,
Allegedly.
2021, 22, allegedly. They had a clone, allegedly, a clone of Nancy, and they had a hot mic. And she had the gavel in her hand, and they were trying to teach her to be Speaker of the House. And she said, with the gavel, she had the gavel in her hand and the camera's still running. She had the gavel in her hand and said, "What's this? What do I do with it?" And they quick squashed the camera, and I just showed her what to do with it. But there she was on TV, hot mic, hot camera. "What's this? What do I do with it?" And of course, she was 30 years younger, and all that turkey gobble that I love and have so much, all gone, and her wrinkles were severely reduced. She looked great, like from one day to the next. You could see it was totally different.
Right. Yeah. And they bring up Canada. Actually, that is from the Raelian religion. If anybody is familiar with those, they created Clonaid, and they moved from, I believe they were in San Francisco, California, and they moved to Canada because of FDA and USDA guidelines and all that stuff. And they pretty much disappeared in the early 2000s. They're still around. What they're creating, who knows? So that's what you're talking about with them. You can go look them up on Wikipedia. The Raelian, Raelian, I believe it is. You ever heard of them?
I've heard the name, but I haven't. I'm just a wealth of ignorance here. I don't know anything about them.
All right. Let's see. Oh, here you go. What do you know about the TR3B?
A lot. Well, it's a hybrid of rhodium, palladium, pure aluminum. They have a power source I'm unfamiliar with, which I think is some sort of crystal structure. It's flown by the United States government. They're what a lot of people call the Dorito, the little triangle with lights on each corner. And they fly 5,000 to 6,000 miles an hour. Phone's going to ring on this one. They fly 5,000 to 6,000 miles an hour. They have unlimited power source. They have the ability, and I'm going to talk about it in another show, but they have the ability to do 90-degree turns without the occupants going splat inside. They use wave propulsion technology. Technology was reverse engineered out of the Roswell crash and others. So it's an anti-gravity machine that uses wave propulsion technology, and they displace. It's a magnetic machine. Everything in the world, everything in the planet, the cosmos, the entire cosmos is one big magnetic soup. Okay, and we are floating within the soup, and every planet and every star is all connected with highways throughout the soup. And one of the things that the off-worlders don't like is when we keep setting off nukes, it blows a wire between planets in the soup, and they don't like it. We're doing damage to the infrastructure of the cosmos, so to speak. But the TR-3B, we've been flying it for 20, 30 years, and everybody calls it an alien ship, and it probably was, but no, that's us up there. It's anti-gravity technology. Raytheon, and let's just say the military-industrial complex flies it regularly and has been. And so needless to say, we have technology that usurps, all of our fighter jets and hypersonic missiles, and the rods of God and all that stuff are really good. So rods of God and hypersonic missiles are still contenders in the military world. But the TR-3B and the 3BC, which is the one for taller people, they're the latest and greatest, and the technology that goes along with them just usurps all of our enemies. And now we've got the SR-72. That is a more conventional rocket. It's the predecessor is the SR-71, and now they got the SR-72. And now you've got Lockheed Martin's got a new SST supersonic transport jet with my hypersonic nose on it, I might add. It brought you 30 years ago, idiots. But we tried to give it to them 30 years ago. It took them 30 years to come out with it. At any rate, 40 years. But yeah, the TR-3B is us. It's it's old new technology. It's off-world technology. The power source is unknown to me. I think it's magnetic. The drive is wave technology. The speed is 6,000 miles an hour. The range, I don't know. I know that we are flying with wave technology, and I'm going to stop just here a little bit, but we're doing about 20,000 light years in 43 minutes. Our nearest alien enemies are 10,000 light years away, so they're actually closer than our helpers, our friendlies, shall we say. But we have the ability. We've been doing deep space travel for a while. Hush, hush, hush. Which makes every problem on the planet look ridiculous. And when you look at the big picture of things in the cosmos and the size of there's billions of universes, and within those universes there's billions of planets. I mean, the United States currently on their books has 26 Earth-like planets. And there's a couple of them that are reachable. With conventional spacecraft, no. With wave technology and the TR-3B, which I'm surprised you know about, yeah, it's doable.
Are you familiar with Elon Musk's aircraft that he is producing?
Sure. Number 4 guy at NASA. I trained myself. Pulled him out of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, showed him from the ground up. And as he began to run through the ranks of my own company, then he got a great job with Boeing and a great job here and a great job there, and eventually with NASA, and now he's number 4 at NASA. I got a few of my students out there that are just kicking it. I love it.
Okay, I was talking about Elon Musk.
Yeah, he runs the Elon program, and I know all the guys at a bunch of the A&P mechanics and a bunch of the guys that worked there, the ground crew. They're all friends of mine from the aerospace industry and from living in Florida for so many years. And kick ass. I mean, it's really cool that he's got Starlink satellite systems so perfectly lined up. You can actually see them with the naked eye on the right night, with the right angle and the right light. You can actually look up and see the satellites going by. It's got over 200 Starlink satellites. NASA has, the whole Space Coast down there is really lit up. The real estate recovered from, I don't want to say his name or any president's name, but recovered from previous administration's economic crises. So NASA's booming, and the Space Coast is booming, and SpaceX is booming, and it's really cool. It's the latest and greatest. And what Elon brought, besides just, better engines, was the ability to return the portions of the aircraft back to Earth. I mean, to come back and land on Earth, that was really that was a paradigm shift in technological advancement here. There you go.
Yeah, let's watch a little brief snippet of this.
Yeah, it's incredible. Hey, there's a tier 3. There you go. Yeah, I gotta call the State Department and find out what I can tell you about space travel and the wave propulsion technology. And because every time I say something stupid, I don't even know I said something stupid, and then they call me and somebody's mad. I'm learning.
Yeah,
all this.
I was watching that video last night. I ran across it, and they allege that the aircraft that Elon has produced will do over 4,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, no big deal. SR-72 is the SR-71 was doing 3,000 miles an hour. SR-72 better engines and materials, technology, etc. And heck, I think it's doing 4,000, 5,000 miles an hour, 4,000. Again, the SST, supersonic transport, that they retired. Now Lockheed's come out with a new supersonic transport for the airline industry that won't break the sound barrier with its new hypersonic tip that Jeff Rahm tried to bring them 35, 40 years ago. Stuck me in a cube.
Right. All right. Are airlines using compressed air or fuel?
Well, both. The fuel ignites multiple compressor sections and compresses, and it comes out the back as thrust. So yeah, it starts off as fuel. Fuel gets burnt in 8 different compressor sections, and out the back it goes, highly compressed.
Are you familiar with the anti-gravity work of David Wilcock?
I know David Wilcock. I'm familiar to a small degree, not to say anything intelligent, but I know David, and I know what he's doing, just not enough to speak to it. I even have, I have a video, I'll try to find it. The Bulgarians flying what appears to be like a skid with a handlebar in the front of it in the 50s. I mean, there's 2 of them stand on this what looks like a pallet with a handlebar built up in front of it, like 2 pallets. One on the bottom they stand on, and one on the front. They 2 of them take off, just go straight up. There's no motor, there's no wings, there's no speed. They go straight up. They fly down a cornfield, turn around, and fly back. I mean, it's on video, 1945, 1955. I'm sure that Merlin has much more to say about it. Is he still waiting?
No, he's not even backstage.
Oh, okay.
You have to send him the new link.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Send
he's
it
not
again.
with us.
I'll send it to him right now. Again, I think
Okay.
we told him 15 minutes, and so
Yeah, he's about due.
let's see. Yep, I'm back. I'm backstage. Yep, I'm backstage. He says.
He's in the wrong. You need to send him the new link that I just sent you for this one. Here,
Okay.
I'll put it over here in the chat. Copy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, private chat. There you go. Send him that.
Yeah, they found me. Showed them too much. Get job offers in my regular email.
All right. Do you think that the rods of God are going to hit the 34 satanic cities? Or do you know anything about that?
The rods of God are going to take out something. Are they going to hit all 34 satanic
Sites.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Merlin, I'm just posted you a new link to come in to the stage.
With all that activity in Cuba, what's the deal with all the underwater ruins off the coast there? I hear there are whole cities down there.
Well, it's the Earth has been destroyed multiple times. Our collective consciousness sometimes goes so far away that our keepers wipe us out and keep a handful to restart humanity. So we have found, in the Bible, well, Noah, here's an extinction event. There's been over 40 extinction events, most of them verifiable, throughout history. And my understanding, according to the people behind the ice wall in Antarctica, is that we get so out of control and so bad that they have to wipe us out and start all over again. And that's happened multiple times. Noah's not the first trip.
All right. Next question. How do
Okay, I sent you a new link. Can you go to your email and go into that link and come into the room? Well, that's the old link. Yeah, I'll give you a new link. Yeah, new link. Okay, great, thanks. All right. He's going into the new link right now. Can you take me off camera?
Yeah, I sure can. Just like that. And he's gone. Question. Where'd it go? I had him starred. And for someone, man. I'm disappointed that I got to look down and I got to see deleted comments. That really sucks because I've never had to do that on my show before, ever. I get a troll and boom, they're gone. They're not going to sit here and, take the abuse that I'm going to give them. But, it's really crazy that somebody would just spend all this time, money, and energy just to waste, sit here and slam somebody's live YouTube. I just don't understand that. You really have a sad, sad life, man. May God come bless you. That's the only thing I can say. And we're still waiting on Merlin to connect his devices, which means his microphone and camera. And until then, I can't bring him in anywhere. Aaron, you may have. He's a really good guy. That's very possible. I don't know where Jeff has been. You're still backstage, Jeff. I'm still waiting on Merlin to get his stuff together.
Manager.
There you are. You're back on.
Aaron D. That's my composite shop manager, if I'm correct. But yeah, we hit a bar too.
Aaron D.
Aaron D. That's the man. We stole him out of United Airlines and shipped him to Florida to help us grow Four Winds.
Oh God, our troll's back.
Trolling away. Well,
Man,
you know.
we'll just spend some time actually doing something productive instead of doing something negative.
It's easy to hurt others when you can't feel free.
Misery loves company. We're not miserable over here, so we don't need the company. And we're still waiting on Merlin to turn his camera on and turn his microphone on. And until he
People are
does that,
bored and they're angry. It says the sound is allowed. Ask the host to try to bring me in. How about we just put them on?
speaker,
WhatsApp?
yeah, we can do that. Like we did yesterday.
All right.
This will work. Let's do this.
Here we go. You're live. Here we go. Merlin, welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show.
Hey, howdy, Fearless Floyd and Ram Jet. What are you guys doing?
We're listening to you.
What's that?
He said, we're listening to you. Hey, I was wondering today, as long as you got you on, I want to squash a rumor or uphold that rumor. The rumor is Wolverine said that all the whales are headed to Reno, that they're paying out on bonds in Reno, that Reno's finally live and happening, and it's underway, and it's confirmed. I know you talked to Reno to the was the station master or somebody all the time. Any truth to that? Is Reno happening?
No, it's not. It's not happening at the moment. And it's if it was, obviously we don't. Yeah, the station chief. It's the good side is CIA. All agencies have white target considerers, and the former station chief was a good friend of mine, but he passed away. And the new station chief, I happen to know for 20 years, and his handler for 26 years or something like that is in the NSC. The NSC is the National Security Council. The National Security Council is 5 guys that meet with the Donald every morning for their security briefing. They get reports from every intelligence agency on the planet. And in reality, they're the top of queue, and they have command and control because the Donald's right there with them. Of all of Q, that's where it is. That's where we get our information from. And they, Q, put out disinfo every day, and then it goes to DOD, and then it goes to the Admiral in Reno. And then he puts it out, and we notice that he gets it about 2 hours after we do. We get the disinfo first, and we say, okay, thanks, guys. You can get somebody else to flog that around for you, and they do. And so, these guys, Wolverine and stuff like that, they're not lying. They're just getting disinfo from actual high sources. It's the art of deception. And it's like you said earlier, Jeff, that they don't want us telling the cabal, when we're going to fart, They want to do that on their own.
Okay, so rumor 1 squashed, rumor 2 squashed. Reno's on standby, but no, the whales are not on their way. The bonds are not being paid. It's not full of people, and it's not live. Moving on. You are the king of medbed and bubble technology. Did you want to touch on medbeds, or did you want to touch on bubble tech? And if you want to touch on bubble tech, you might want to start with what that is, because people don't know anything about it. Now, medbed, our listeners have heard about enough that if you dove right in on that, they could hang with the conversation. But if you dive right in on bubble tech, people's going to say, "Oh, what? A bubble what?" They have no idea.
Okay. Well, the reason we call it a bubble is because it creates a bubble. Everything that you see in reality has an ANU around it that makes it every microsecond. And ANU is the first thing that got in the Babylonian text, Sumerian text, and the Vedas. And it is the God particle. It makes everything. It's the first name of God in all those ancient texts, and nobody in science seems to understand. They use all these other names, but not that one. No, excuse me. What's wrong? And it's extremely well described in the Hindu as having both Vishnu and Shiva in it, the two male forms of God, which would correspond to God the Father and Jesus. And so anyway, there's an end. And when you work with the ethers, things get real simple. That's how you're describing earlier about the flying platforms or Copernicus flying platforms. They come in harmony with the ethers. So you got almost no power, like a 9-volt battery, and the thing will go, we know of, 1,000 miles an hour, and I think around 10,000 miles an hour. And you're standing there, like you say, on a bathroom scale with a handle, and going 1,000 miles an hour, and it doesn't muss his hair because he's in a bubble, and that bubble is nano. Okay, so what bubble tech is capacitance, basically. That's Wilhelm Reich's orgone energy, is capacitive energy, which is non-polar energy. No positive or negative, no north-south, no yin-yang, no none of that.
So it's a superconductor.
It's non-polar energy.
So it's a
non-polar energy is the light of life. Excuse me?
I said, so it's a superconductor.
Basically, yeah. Anything you put in there is superconducting. And this, well, not only that, a capacitance field is nonpolar. There's no frequencies in there except for 3, and that's because of the 3 forms of God, which is, first of all, space. And the only information that's there, at the beginning is herself, which is space, and the 2 male forms of God, and that you wind up with a 3 out of that. But in the capacitance field, there's basically darkness. There's no other frequencies there. And so absolutely everything starts as an idea or a seed in darkness, period. Everything. And that happens every microsecond. The entire universe has a blink rate to it. And I can pretty much show it to you. It's well known by some physicists, particularly those that worked with the Monroe Institute. But so there's a blink rate. And you've got the seed level of creation, which is darkness. And so this is how bubble tech works, is you install intentions, images, and feelings, primarily euphoria, into the seed level of darkness. And in so doing, you make miracles, because you can change what's going on pretty much anywhere, which we've done. Stopped hurricanes. We saved way over 2 billion animals. Innumerable humans. A lot of them from their deathbed, they get up and go home. And then hurricanes, we stopped. I don't know how many hurricanes, or mitigated them. They never hit land as a hurricane. Very, very few. We get them. It goes on like that. We've been doing this for years, and it's pretty simple. It's unbelievably simple. The problem is it's too simple. It's 2D and it's magical. And so people, all humans, want a magical solution to their problem, but they don't want to believe in magic. Fucking idiots. I'm sorry. It's where they are. Meanwhile, this works so well, it's scary. I mean, it works really well, because also inside of that darkness is zero time. There's no linear time. And so what we're having happening now is miracles occur before we even do the intentions. But I mean, we just have to spark of the idea and to get ready to do our ritual that we do. Is kind of a ritual. It's just the way that you install intentions in darkness within yourself. As you just get the feeling of euphoria, and you get the vision of the whatever it is you want, clear sky or rain or whatever it is, You fix the furnace, fix the car, fix the computer, whatever you want to have happen, it happens. It's like, whoa, excuse me. And there's innumerable reports from all over the world where anybody that has this technology, the simple devices, can do exactly that. You know? Anybody can do it. It's really easy. You just use your imagination and your feelings. You know? And so that's Bubble Tech. You can find it on the Bubble Tech page on Facebook. There's a Bubble Tech page. You go on there and you start looking through that and you'll be blown away. You can't help but be blown away.
Now that shows you how to make them too on the Facebook page. I've been there, but it has videos on how to make them and make different ones to have different intentions, right?
Well, if they all work off intentions, it doesn't make any difference. It's just all capacitance. We call it bubbling a piece, and the way that happens is with a Tesla violet ray wand, the frequency of which is 33,333 cycles per second. That's a 3, and that goes into the capacitance field, and it amplifies the capacitance field to where you feel it's tangible. You can feel it, and you feel a bubble around you, and the field is euphoric. And it's actually pretty easy. All you got to do is put it in you use your imagination, put it in the field, and where you go, feel it happening. It does. It's very straightforward.
Cool. So go to Facebook Bubble Tech page, and we'll be able to see it there, videos and how to make it, and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. What can you tell me about med beds? I know that you are making one yourself.
Yeah, my one. I finally found enough information that I understand how med beds work. If you use frequencies, you can create platonic solid or platonic shapes, and cymatics. You know what I mean by that?
No, I don't.
Cymatics, where a frequency causes these shapes in water or sugar or whatever you got that you're using to detect them.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, that's what the med bed's doing. It's just creating a platonic shape with different information on your body, and in that way, fixing various parts of your body. It's like you said, holographic. You can install the image into the platonic solid and impose that on the body, and the body will change to the image. It has to. Everything's an image to start with. It's not difficult. And so that's how they're doing it. My one works a lot simpler with xenon, which is brightest white light known to man. It's brighter than the surface of the sun, and it has more photons coming off of it than the surface of the sun. And the photons light stem cells for reality. Everything's made of light, basically. So the ionized xenon, and you have the brightest white light known to man, and you can program the photons coming out of there with your mind in the same way that we do in Bubble Tech, and we have another way of doing it holographically with the computer. Plain old ordinary computers are very easy, and connected up to where we put a laser right angles to the flow of the light. The laser has the holographic information in between the gaps. The lasers, you got to look for the gaps. That's where all of everything is. For example, the new quantum computer that has access to the past, present, and future of everything in the multiverse, and make an image where it is or what it is. A rock. You can ask the quantum computer what's the past, present, future of this rock. It'll show you in video format the way it's formed up. And the source of that information is the gap. And the new quantum computers, the way they work is a laser interfaces with graphene. Graphene is a direct connection to the ethers. everything is printed on the ethers, and every other cell is a gap. And then the laser itself, in between the rays, has a gap. And the laser you can program with computers. You can put information in with the computer, and that or extract information from the laser also with the computer. And so the laser interacts with the graphene, the gaps in the graphene, and picks up whatever you want, whatever you ask for. It's just like meditation. When you get to a certain level of meditation, you ask a question, the answer comes before you can finish asking the question. That's standard. That's how you know it's the real answer. Okay? And so the same thing happens with the quantum computer. Now, quantum computers can be affected by the operator's beliefs. And they've known that about quantum computers for a very long time. Since the very first quantum computer was in Vancouver, BC, the D-Wave computer, and what it was just a plain old normal mainframe computer with a super cooled core. The core's, super cooled down near absolute zero. If you've studied any cold temperature physics, you know it's really obvious that things go to 2D. Metals pass through one another. Excuse me, I'll say that again. Metals pass through one another. This is the same as the TR-3B. It doesn't fly. It translates in ether. Same with the Gravitikov flying platform. It translates in the ethers. Same with telepathy. It's access. Same with the quantum computer. It's all connecting to the ethers. When you connect to the ethers, things are really, really simple. It's ridiculous. It's 2D. And, meanwhile, everybody else wants to make it complicated. It's not. It's going the wrong direction. When you make it simple, it's unbelievably easy and scary as to how easy it is, as well as, excuse me, you guys are idiots. And you have been for hundreds of years. And the primary reason is because Einstein, canceled the ethers. Because of the Michelson-Morley experiment, which has been rerun, and the fact that the ether drift the Michelson-Morley experiment was a very well designed experiment, and that experiment has been rerun a number of times, and the ethers are there, period. The one guy was the U.S. Air Force, the Ernest Silvertooth, and it was reported in Nature. Now, you would think that would spark a huge amount of research and a total different direction of physics. It hasn't. It should have, but physics, the study of the physical properties of matter. That's the name of the physics. All right. All of a sudden, you've got a new property of physics, the ethers, and you don't study it. Who's the idiot? What do you got? Will you call yourself a physicist? Get out of here. You get the brain God gave a soda cracker and don't come back. They're educated idiots. They will not open their mind. And especially when you get into 2D. 2D, which is the way bubble tech operates and does massive miracles that are unmatched in human history. Absolute, verifiable, irrefutable. Okay? And nobody wants to get it. It's like, man, it's Idiotsville. This whole reality, what we have here, is Idiotsville, by design. And humans are puppets of Idiotsville by design. The Idiotsville comes from the movie, and we are in a movie. It's a 4.5 million year movie. The Hindu Yugas, they've known for thousands and thousands of years about the Yugas, and it's 4.5 million, at the end of which you have a mass extinction of it. This planet, there have been 23 different species of humans that have populated the entire planet, mostly giants. Excuse me, where are they? The answer is it's us. We kill us off. It's 90, the mass extinction event, 90% of the DNA leaves the planet. The geneticists have tracked 100,000 mammals through the last 5 mass extinction events. You can look it up. We're right now halfway into the 6th, what they call Holocene mass extinction event. We're halfway there now. because of the chemtrails. But the way you get all the way there, it seems, well, it happened on Mars, is due to a nuclear holocaust that wipes out everything. So we replay the exact same movie where we wind up with nuclear weapons and all that, and then we wipe ourselves out. That's not going to happen this time, as we know. But we've replayed that movie, that 4.5 million year movie, and then knowable number of times, at least 23 times on this planet, but also Mars, also Mercury, also Tiamat. There's all kinds of orbs in the solar system where you can see clear evidence of foundations. People building houses. And they're not there because the reason they build houses, they're in fear, and they're talking to one another. They're using the spoken word, which is the bane of humanity. Not one single spiritual leader, major spiritual leader, has ever implored humans to adopt telepathy. By telepathy, there are no lies, there is no crime, so there ain't no politics, and there ain't no wars. Hello? Wake up. Hello? Telepathy's not that difficult. Every cell in your body does it all day, every day. Why don't you? Because we programmed ourselves. We, us idiots, us humans, have programmed ourselves not to do that. We're providing entertainment for one another and for herself. She's lonely. She likes lots of idiots out there doing their dancing. But anyway, it's crazy. It is Idiotsville. And the spoken word is what keeps us in it. And bubble tech pretty much imposes telepathy on people. Ultimately, it does that, as well as teleportation. The freedom for humans is telepathy and teleportation. And teleportation, you have the Tesla Utron, which they built 100 of them. Gold's T. Carr, Ralph Ring, and a couple other guys built 100 of them. They go anywhere in space and time, from anywhere in space and time, instantly. So space and time doesn't really count. It's not what we think it is. It's an imaginary thing. That's what space and time is. And so after enough rides in Neutron, you don't need the device anymore. You can go on your own.
Yeah, it's a trainer.
And the Neutron that has no controls in it. The only control when you're in there is your imagination and collective imagination. You have a few people in there, and they all have to be thinking about going to the same place, and then bang, they're there. The Neutron itself it's like aluminum disc, saucer shape, that are counter-rotating, and they have permanent magnets on the outside. And the permanent magnets, they go in the direction of the South Pole. It spins in the direction of the South Pole, which sucks. Okay, and gravity is an affinity information for the sucking. That some physicists have proposed that gravity actually sucks. That's correct, it does. Because the anu, the central DNA spin of the anu, it sucks in information, and it's superconducting. And so the spinning discs get up near the blink rate, and these permanent magnets weld at the outside of the discs. All of a sudden, the discs start take off on their own. This is the Neutron, how it works. And then when that happens, and you're inside of it, it all goes transparent. Where you were like inside of a cave practically. All of a sudden, now it's transparent. You can see everything, 360. And then the minute you think about going someplace, you're there instantly. Doesn't make any difference. Anywhere in time and space. Anywhere you know to go, basically.
Is the Earth flat or is the Earth round?
The God's law herself, the old bitch, okay, her law is, I am that I am. I am was a question. Who am I, Okay. The only answer, since there's nobody else there, is I am that I am. Created two little half circles. I can show you pictures of them. Physicists have taken pictures of quantum entanglement, two little half circles. Okay? And then because they're made out of love, she loved them very much, they come together in a circle, which means that everything spins. every line that you see in nature or in a graph or anything like that is not a line. It's a spin, and it's got a gap in the middle, right? And that gap is herself, right? So since everything spins, that pretends roundness. And then you got this thing called angular momentum. Everything has it. Excuse me. Hello. Well, pick you up. There's no possible way for the Earth to be flat.
Okay.
It appears flat. There's aspects of it now. You know, some of the observations that the flat Earth people work are correct. You know, one of the simplest one is that from Dover you can see Calais, France. You can see across the English Channel. You do the calculations for the curvature of the Earth, and it's like, you know, 200 to 300 feet difference. That's not possible. You're not be able to see Calais, but you can. Okay, well, so why is that? And Einstein gave the answer that light bends around planets.
Right.
Hello? Yeah, not because of gravity, what he says, but because of the affinity for information that the Anus have, you know, and the ethers. And the light, I can show you diagrams of it and exactly how it works. So the light travels in ether. So, you know, so there's some aspects of what the flat Earth people observe that are correct, but they don't know the reason why. Okay? And when you tell them the reason why, they won't believe you. They're just another class of idiots.
Now. Well, as we've discussed before, we're a whole planet full of idiots. The ICU, for example.
Right. This is the one I love. Human body has infinite awareness. By kinesiology, muscle testing, the 10 American universities, 20 million muscle tests later, all sums up with this one sentence, i.e., that the human body will answer perfectly any yes or no question on any subject, period. That's infinite awareness. The Max Planck Institute has found that the human body is in a continuous state of precognition, knowing 7 seconds before what the mind is going to decide. And they say themselves, then there's no free will. That's bullshit. Correct. It's a movie, like I told you. You know? And it's a 4.5 million year movie that controls every thought in your head, every flea fart, every photon. It's images. The movies are made out of images, like a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Only, obviously, it blinks a lot faster than that. And so every photon is controlled by the movie. Hello? Waking up. And one of the ways you know that, Akashic records are real. The past, present, future of everything exists. Okay, well, how does it exist? The way it was made, video format. Therefore, all of those videos have to dovetail together perfectly in order for you to have a coherent now. And some of our coherence is kind of fading these days. There's 2D bleed through, like there are all kinds of anomalies going on. You can even see parallel realms. You know, that due to the rule, everything's due to the rule. I am that I am, like attracts like, mirroring, then, which leads to the holographic nature of the universe. Holographic nature of the universe, real simple. Yeah, what it means is that every bit of the entire universe has the entire universe in it. Correct. And the way that you can know that for a fact, put yourself in between two parallel mirrors. You go infinite. So there's anything else that you put in there. That's what's going on here. We've got a massive hall of mirrors that are the ethers. And that's why the movie continually replays. And it's the exact same movie. And the proof of that, one of the proofs, quick-time proofs of it, is you can look up 16 Jesus figures on the internet. You know, crucified saviors, they call them. The comparative religion. I lived in a monastery. We studied every religion, so you get a lot of that kind of information. The comparative religion folks, scholars, have found 200 of them with exact mirror image lifetimes. Okay, excuse me. You know, born to a virgin on the 25th, change the water to wine, raise a guy from the dead, and wind up nailed to a tree at 33. Every single one of them. You know? And it's ridiculous. And so each epoch, each 4.5 million year epoch, that's from the Genesis event to the mass extinction event, you got the exact same movie. Yeah. and I can show you how the movie is made. It's literally plastered on the earth. It's by us, by our pure consciousnesses. Every one of us has a pure consciousness that is our observer self. And you can get in touch with your observer self real easy. All you have to do is notice that you're thinking. And the minute you notice that you're thinking, simple question, who noticed? Answer is the part of you that does not think, nor emote. And if you go hang with that observer self for a while, pretty soon oh my goodness, we're in a movie. Correct.
How do we get out of the movie? Escape the matrix.
Yeah. Well, the bubble tech is way out of the movie. We work outside the time already. We do miracles, like I say, in no time, well, instantly. And that'll happen. That'll become more and more pronounced. It has become more and more pronounced over the years we've been doing it. It's just us and Bubble Tech and another crew using Reich's technology, Cloudbuster technology that they converted to what they call translators. And translators a long tube, like Reich's Cloudbusters. They made it rain that got him thrown in jail where he died. But the long tubes have the mirror finish on the inside, and so they quite literally mirror one's intention and makes it more cohesive. So it goes very long distances. It's very powerful. One of the things that they did here recently is that that energy, herself, thank you very much, has changed the energy of the gap of darkness to euphoria. And so all of the bubbles, Reich used to get DOR, deadly orgone radiation. We never get that. None of the translators nor the bubbles, we never get that, because the energy that's in the capacitance fields these days is euphoric. And so the translators deployed, as they call it, aim their devices at the big lake in the middle of Nicaragua. The government had their soldiers out there killing the natives, throwing their bodies in the lake to pollute the lakes, to pollute their water source. And they hit them with the translator. They were gone inside of 5 minutes. They picked up their shit and ran. And the reason is because the euphoria is supplanting duality. It's eliminating fear and love. And people that live, anything that lives in fear, when you go into a euphoric field, it drives the fear out of your body. It's like being in a microwave. You have to leave. We've seen rats and mice sacrifice themselves. I love this. One of the guys in our bubble tech thing is Trump's architect for 10 years. He's into bubble tech, and he's got this little horse ranch down by Fort Lauderdale, where you get a lot of bugs. He doesn't have any. He got no flies, no mosquitoes, no cockroaches, no rats, no mice, nothing. It's all just euphoric, no problems. And it applies to people also. That's the neat thing about bubble tech, because the cabal can't come around it because, again, their body feels like it's in a microwave. They have to leave.
How much do these things cost, these units?
$10.
You can make a very, very effective device with the Valerie wand that you get from Amazon for $40, and 3 of the oldest concrete blocks you can find, and you hardwire it. Just get some speaker wire and hardwire it to the concrete, which is the concrete when it sets up is a calcium silicate. The calcium is a conductor. The silicate is what they call a dielectric, is the insulator. So you got a capacitor. The automatic, the molecules of concrete when it sets up are a capacitor. A whole bunch of microcapacitors, and when you stick an image into a whole bunch of microcapacitors, it gets mirrored off a whole bunch of times, and so it becomes that you, by yourself, are like a million people meditating on one thing. And so if we had a million people that all had bubbles, we change this planet. We take all of the plastic out of the water, it would be just like that. Instantaneous.
Huh. Are there different models?
Different models of concrete?
Well,
they got new concrete that's not proper. It's just plain old Portland concrete.
okay. Portland cement. Deborah asked,
Portland cement, but made into concrete. Primarily, we make them much more powerful by adding iron oxide as a conductor. So you got additional charge accumulation for capacitance plates. And we also add like carbon now because we've learned, it adds further capacitance, and as well as being able to conduct the charge much better. Carbon does, and so we got little tricks. We add the concrete, but plain. You wanted to know what the simplest device you can make is? I've told you. You get a violet ray wand. You get 3 of the oldest chunks of concrete you can find. It can be concrete block. It can be just a chunk of a concrete out of a concrete wall. You want it to be reasonably good size, and then you drill a hole in them, stick the wire in the hole, the speaker wire, and then stick the other end of it, bear it, and stick it in the violet ray wand, turn it on. You will feel it in seconds. And whatever you have in mind that you want to change, like change the weather, bam, that'll happen in the next 10, 15 minutes.
wow.
It's really easy.
Do you want to answer those questions there? Do you come out completely human on the med bed? Was the last one? Yes, you do. 100% human, just younger and healthy. No change in your human structure.
And the next one is, could you use bubble tech to manifest things like create wealth and health?
Merlin?
Yeah, people do. Yes, people do. People have done that. I can show you all kinds of testimonials. Well, we basically raise people from the dead, and it happens instantly. It's a little bit ridiculous. They're on their deathbeds, they're near death, bam, fixed, get up, go home. Not necessarily, not that same day, but the following day they get up and go home. But they're fixed instantly.
Okay. Facebook Bubble Tech page, and they have videos there showing you how to make them cheap, how to make them big, how to make them little, how to change the intentions. It's predicated on what you put down in the pot or the vessel that is adjacent to the transmitting rod or copper or wire. And it's all there on Bubble Tech, on the Bubble Tech page in Facebook. And then
what's
Merlin,
the
other place, in case you're not on Facebook, is there another place that they can find it?
No, just Facebook.
Okay.
is the Facebook Bubble Tech, and it's a private group?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So I'm going to put the link over here if y'all guys want to join.
Are med beds being used for use under patient NDA? They haven't been used yet, so I don't know. That's a good one. I don't think so. I think they want everybody to know that.
Well, yes, of course. The military's been using them for years, haven't they?
Yeah, now, but they're saying.
The space fleet, primarily.
Yeah, I'm sure they're NDA for now, but they won't be as soon as they let them go to those hospitals. Next question.
I'm scrolling to it. What is your definition of time?
That's for you, Merlin. I've seen time like, for instance, the the further you get away from gravity, the slower time goes. Closer you get, the faster time goes. So it's not linear. Time bends, but physicist Merlin the Magician, tell us.
Time's the phallic symbol. That's what it started out in it. It was herself. What happened was herself, God herself, exists. She had been going I am that I am for a long time, making ethers. And then she went to herself. She's been doing this for a long time. And that went out into the ethers, and because of the rule, had to circle back on itself. And then when it saw itself, it headed off to a 90, and you find this 90 everywhere, like the swastika. There's a 90. It's actually a roadmap to the parallel realms, the swastika. So the Anu circled up in the etheric cell, and then mirrored off. And when it mirrored off, it was made out of love and time, obviously. And so when it mirrored off, there's a massive orgasm inside of herself. She likes that very much. You might have noticed. That's still going on. Yeah. And she was always looking for a surprise herself. Surprise is supreme. And so that's the first form of time. And so it wasn't lineal. It didn't get linear. It's in 2D, and it's circular, obviously, and then which creates cycles, which is why the Earth is round, why everything is round. Even the lines are not straight. They're round. Everything's round because of the rule. But then you get into 3D, which happens in the hexagonal ethers, and you create toroids that both propagate and allow 3D electromagnetic vibrations to traverse the ethers. You have to have toroid formation every step of the way. And that toroid formation has in it the right angle, the phase angle between the electric and magnetic component, gravity, which starts at the infinity for information. The Anus in parallel realms lay down at a 90, communicate with one another, and then they circle up and make whatever image that we've installed. BubbleTech installs images in 2D in the four-sided ethers. That's then made manifest in the hexagonal ethers. When you get into the hexagonal ethers and you've got electromagnetic waveforms, then you have lineal time. And so 2D, no time, there's no lineal time. And 3D, hexagonal ethers, you have what we think is lineal time, but it's not. Still cyclical.
Hey, is Jimmy Hoffa alive? All right. How about Michael Jackson? All right.
All right. Somebody wants to have Merlin explain the eclipse. It must happen. What's your opinion on that?
What's that? The April 8th eclipse?
There's a lot of strangeness around the eclipse that happened, and we'll have to find out. It's not. Did it change your lunch? No, it didn't. All right, so don't worry about it. We'll find out.
Strange stuff happened during it, though. I mean, you could see the moon in one spot, and how it was covering the sun when you're looking at it off to the right didn't make sense to me. And, it's the same day that CERN opened up a portal, and right over CERN, there was a big twist in the clouds in the sky and something happening. And at the same time, something huge plunged under the ocean just off the coast of South Africa and was, doing 500 miles an hour underwater, creating a tsunami as it went up the coast. Also, coincidentally, same day that the leader of Hamas was murdered. All kinds of strange stuff happened that day. And according to the people that are close to the CERN people, they said that they really needed the luge, or the negative or sad emotions, to provide energy for the CERN experiment to work. I mean, that's scary stuff. I think CERN's out of control. They play it off as science, but I think it's a weapon of mass destruction that they hide as science. But that's only my opinion.
Well, you used a specific
You
term.
want to hear more about that?
Yes.
What's going on with CERN, and then combined with the chemtrails and all these forest fires all over the world right now, is that the cabal, these guys are idiots. You think all the rest of these ones are certifiable, and they're lunatics, obviously, but this one is really good. They don't know that they're working for the bugs, the archons. What they're trying to do is get the oxygen content of the atmosphere down around 10%, so that what they're told, so that Satan can come down through that porthole that they're making at CERN. That's what they're trying to do. Okay? Which is real obvious. It's not difficult. A lot of their plans are ridiculously simple. All you have to do is look at them that way. And it is all very simple because it is a blank screen and it's got images portrayed on it. Bubble Tech proves that. Everything is just, first of all, 2D images. And the satanic crew kind of knows that. They've got excellent rituals and technologies for changing images. They know that it's all image management. Everything is. It's a movie. And so, like all movies, it's image management. And so the Jesuits have been conscripted by the Archon. They don't know that. The Archon are little bitty bugs. The source of the Archon isn't that everything. It has to have an anode around.
Whoops.
And the bugs came into being by herself. We put herself, if you can imagine, you're in darkness, in nothingness, and it's not really infinite. It's down around Planck length, infinitesimally small. But we are there already prior to the beginning of this multiverse. And herself went, I am that I am, and I am that I am, and geez, I've been doing this for a long time. Before the first Anu, we got her to look at that Anu and ask, what is it? That immediately opened up Pandora's box so that we can have this, skid mark, what we got going on here. Why do we want the skid mark? You must ask. Yeah, and the answer is because all-knowing is boring, painfully boring. It's like I explained to you earlier. When you get to a certain state, you ask a question, and the answer comes before you can finish the question. The same applies with teleportation. You want to go somewhere, you're there before you can finish the thought. Okay? That's normal. Because it's just our imagination. We're the ones that are doing it. Yeah. So anyway, we got herself to look at this little Anu, first Anu, and ask, what is it? Okay, well, so that's a line of judgment that went into that Anu. So the Archon, Anu that they have around them, it's made out of time and judgment. So they don't grow. They stay really little. And they have gains of function. We've given them gains, we've given them gains of function so they can create more mayhem. Okay? One of which is evil queens, and then an evil emperor, and this one, everybody should know, we've imposed upon them the requirement for them to let us know what they're going to do before they do a dastardly deed. The Simpsons, I don't care. There are so many, it's so obvious that the cabal always tells us what they're going to do. Yeah? And do we listen? No. We like our shit show very, very much. We'd rather die. We have been years and years inventing more unique ways to die. Human, it's like human body has infinite awareness. Infinite freaking awareness. Like I said earlier, the soldier in the foxhole, his body knows for a fact that the hand grenade's coming in the foxhole. He lets it come in. He stays there to be blown up. Excuse me, who's the bleeding idiot? Huh? Human body or the movie that made him stay there? One or the other, because those are the two control mechanisms. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, Idiotsville.
And Merlin, what was the name of that wand for the bubble tech?
It's a violet ray. It's a Tesla violet ray wand. On Amazon, they call it a high frequency facial device.
High frequency facial relaxer.
Facial device. It takes wrinkles out of people's faces.
Huh. Yeah. Well, you're not making yourself.
It's a healing wand. It's a very healing wand. It's a really important thing to have around the house. You know?
Huh.
It can also be used as a sex toy. Yeah.
Okay, different show.
All right, thanks for coming on there, Merlin. I'll never be back again, but okay. Hey,
time for you to disappear, Merlin.
I think this show has come to an end. Are we at the time mark?
Oh, no, I mean, we're rolling.
Okay.
I don't want to cut him off because he has a lot of good information.
Next show.
Aussie Mom asks how Merlin is tied into the RV again. So let's go ahead and address that for people who are just jumping on.
Hey, Merlin, what's your connection to the RV? I mean, you're the one 21 years ago that got me involved. Thanks a lot. Only ruined my life.
Okay.
If it takes me 20 years, I'll get you out of jail.
Yeah. Look for the collect call from an inmate.
All right.
So what's your involvement? How'd you get involved? What do you know? Rattle it out.
As a verifiable fact, in 1991, two CIA guys nicked $600 million of my equity, which was sovereign guarantees issued by the government of Argentina in my name. And they used that to start the Hammer Project. The Hammer Project funds just about everything the company does in Langley, including the vast majority of buildings at Langley. The $600 million went into a trading program, and those trading programs back in those days, you could capture everything between fresh cut and exit, which is about 60 points per trade multiple times per day, and compound. So that 600 million went to trillions in a month. And that Hammer Project, you can look it up, Hammer Project, is what funds the vast majority of everything the CIA does, including Area 51, the space fleet, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit well connected in there because I own them. Oh yeah, that's the thing. The maxims of equity. If you steal a man's equity and you use it to make gains on your own, then you steal his equity. The equity still belongs to the original equity holder. That's the maxims of equity's law. So I've got people on the good side primarily, but also the dark side. You know, I mean, Jeff, you know this. For years, I know the guy that was the head of wet work and contract cleaning.
Yeah, I know.
For the company.
Yeah. And you knew Woody. And you knew, never mind, Mao and the company.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's all the SAR, which goes all the way back to Saint Germain, and the same thing happened to Saint Germain. And I'm not only Merlin, but I'm also Saint Germain. Merlin was before Saint Germain.
Hold on. Because Elizabeth says she represents Saint Germain. That's what you just said on Kia Pruitt's show.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of split-offs, you know. Other people can be Saint Germain, okay? And they can channel the Saint Germain energy, I've run into a lot of people that channel Saint Germain energy. But when you look at what I've done, including saving 2 billion bleeding animals and take people coming out of their deathbed and all that kind of stuff, excuse me, hello, how many other people on this planet have you ever heard of that done that? Answer, 0. Nobody. All right, so, and then on top of that, Saint Germain wanted to do things like change the music of creation. I've already designed how to do that. We know exactly how to do that. The music of creation is a problem. And the reason you know it's a problem is because we're still in a skid mark. If there was a beat and more harmony to the music of creation, we would not have a skid mark. Period. Okay, well, Saint Germain knew that, and I've already designed how to fix it, how to change it. We know exactly how to do it. It's not difficult.
Do Replicator?
All kinds of things like that Saint Germain wanted to do that I've done.
Replicators. That's a good question.
Yeah, I know how they work.
Are they real?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And guess what? They work via xenon, ionized xenon. Because the photons are stem cells for reality. Hello. Everything in light.
Okay. Are they available yet? Or do you think they're being held up for, the timing of the RV?
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely. It's the SAR. Everything is released on the same day. And includes all the advanced technologies. It includes replicators. And the replicators should be able to replicate themselves, which means that every family on the planet will have a replicator inside of 2 years. And that's the case. The military and the aliens helping them will distribute replicators to everybody on the planet.
Cool. Well, then that ends farming and mechanics and all kinds of stuff, because you need something. You need tires for your car. Just replicate them. Here's tires. Need food. Here's food. So
you won't need cars. You won't need cars. You'll have the flying platforms.
Yeah. Bad example. I was trying to make an analogy that was something palatable at the time period today. But yeah, that would change farming, because you wouldn't need to. You want a steak, you hit the replicator button, right?
Correct. Eliminates commerce, agriculture, sets people free. The most important, the reason that it will be widely, vastly distributed to everybody is because they need to end human suffering. Because our suffering can collapse the universe, the multiverse. The reason we created the archon was so that they could eat our shit, our mosh. The bugs on the ground do the same, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the bugs in the ethers, that's what they're there for. That's why we invented them. So that we can have mayhem and not collapse the multiverse again. We've collapsed the entire multiverse a number of times. There again, an unknowable number of times. 4.5 million year movie, and that it didn't work. This one here is a product of trial and error, which is verifiable.
This one looks like it's got. This one looks like it's got hope, though, right? I mean, for the first time in 5,000 or 6,000 years, the planet or humans have been run by the satanics and religion and aliens and gosh, the whole mess that's got us here. But for the first time in 5,000 or 6,000 years, the alliance, or Russia, China, the United States, and the militaries have gotten together, and they're wiping out the satanics. They're taking out the reptilian population, if you believe that. They're taking out the Illuminati and the satanic nightmares that have been enslaving the planet. So, I mean, we look like we have a real shot for Ascension this time. It looks like we might be able to actually break out of the movie and the Matrix this time around which is why everybody's calling for Ascension and peace, love, and togetherness. You know. Are you with?
Yeah, right. We got. Well, they're doing this the first time in several thousand years, the first time in forever in this multiverse, Jeff, with this movie has been playing in this, which creates this whole multiverse. You know, all the parallel realms are mirrors of here. They're very, very similar. I can show you pictures of them. It's not like a maybe. It's mirrors. It's a big hall of mirrors. And so we've been replaying the same movie, 4.5 million year movie, an unknowable number of times in this multiverse.
No wonder my back hurts. God.
Yeah, and so this what they call this the change of all ages. It is absolutely the change of all ages. You know, and it changes the entire multiverse, which bubble tech has already done. I can prove that. I got proof to you. You've seen the essay that bubble tech has changed the entire multiverse, and because the entire multiverse is found in human DNA. Why is it found in our DNA? The DNA is just a storage mechanism. The reason it's found in our DNA is because we invent it every microsecond. And so that's why when you get enough people together, and every microsecond, you can change whatever you want to change.
Cool. Well, it's a
Alice in Wonderland, no problem.
It's the level of cognitive dissonance that we all face to get people to understand that we've been lied to for thousands of years, and that, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and Christopher Columbus, that's a great story, but it's just not true. I mean, they found Viking yachts up the Grand Canyon and up, in the Colorado River 1,000 years before Christopher Columbus was ever born. The planet, not only with Noah and the extinction event we're aware of, but there's been obvious traces throughout history, and geological traces and biblical traces and Sanskrit traces, and that we toast the planet and start over multiple times. We go through these extinction events.
Right.
Go through all these extinction events. We kill everybody on Earth except a handful, and we start human consciousness all over again because we keep doing the same crap, which is why I say, hey, it looks like this time we might have an opportunity to escape. It looks like this time, for the first time in ever, that we might ascend and that we might have a collective consciousness. The beach? Correct. So I'm very excited. And, if that doesn't work, then as soon as I get paid, I'm going to get all my money and I'm going over the wall. I'm going to Antarctica. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, right.
I might get eaten on the way, but it's better than staying here.
It's going to French Polynesia, bro.
Yeah, I'll meet you there too. But if that's not heavenly enough, then over the ice wall we go. Over, under, around. And if that doesn't work, I swear to God, if we're going to stay in this multiverse in this way with this government and this, I swear I'm going to run for president and put an end to this BS.
Yeah. That's the other cool thing about the flying cars, the flying platforms. It eliminates borders and then nation states. Yeah.
Floyd, how we doing?
Yes, sir. We're fine. We can go as long as you want. I just got off the phone with the chief, and he wants like to come on and give an update or two. That's up to you how you want to run that.
Well, I know you just can't have one 4-hour show, so how about we end this one and then we could, I don't know.
We can do that. Jump back on with another one.
Break it up.
Well, that's what I say. We need to break this up a little bit. We can't just have one big, long show. We'll have Merlin come back another time, talk some other subjects. I have a list of subjects that Merlin might want to talk about. You might not, but I certainly have them to lay out and ask. and the questions from your audience is great. But I mean, we have things to talk about like the fake sun, time travel, space travel, the moon around the Earth, aliens, and that's just to touch on some of our spacier off-worlder. Not to mention CIA, FBI, more RV. If we could touch base with Merlin on next time we hear another Reno rumor, which should be any minute or tomorrow and the next day and the next day, let's just call and ask and stop the BS.
Exactly.
Well, it's really easy to know that, guys.
Yeah.
We need a trigger event. A trigger event is required. We don't know what it is. Okay? Because they have so many triggers. They've got everything. You know, the NSA and the Navy DIA have, and the Space Fleet, they have everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think a trigger event, if I had to guess, would be a political change, and I'm referring to Biden. Another trigger event might be a false Israel-Iran, let them have a go for a little while. Another trigger event might be a, I don't know, somebody lob a nuke somewhere or a dirty nuke. So I don't know, but something major would definitely have a, shake the earth. And they say why that event is going on, that's actually cover to allow the global currency reset or the National Economic Securities and Reformation Act, NASARA, to take place.
Yeah, something like that has to happen.
You got a call coming in?
Anymore. So Australia checks it with me when they get online every day. They want to give me the Australian down under update.
Okay. Well, Merlin, wow, brother, thank you very much for being here. You've been a wealth of information. You're definitely coming back. We're going to break this down some more. If you can, send me or send Jeff and have Jeff forward it to me some more information on the bubble technology or anything else that you can share publicly that we can put on here and show the folks, since we're having technical difficulties getting you on here. So, yeah, we'd love to promote what you have and put it out there for the folks so we can all get healed and move on and live life happily ever after. Right?
The best way to do that is to do it yourself.
DYOR. Do it yourself. Do your own research. There you go, folks. All right. Well, thank you for being here, Merlin. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Merlin. We'll get back to you shortly. I'll give you a call here.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Merlin. I'll give you a call shortly, and we'll touch base on all this. We'll arrange the next one. Okay. Thanks, Merlin. Ladies and gentlemen, Merlin the Magician, the most well-connected physicist you'll ever meet. And if we're done, you know me, I like to sign off with something good to say, a thought to think of. Hello?
The floor is yours, sir.
Oh, I didn't know if the phone went dead, cell drops. Well, have the courage, as an RV group, maintain the course, stay the course, have the courage, follow your heart, follow your intuition. Somehow they know what you truly want to become. Stay the course. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. We're coming right back, folks, with another live. So I'll get everything set up. Give me about 10 minutes. Let Jeff go use the restroom. Let me send the link over here to Chief, and we'll get the Chief on. He'll give you an update of what he's doing, who he's spoken to, and the information that he is willing to share with you guys. So I look forward to that. Jeff, anything else?
Stop eating fast food. They're killing us with it.
Oh,
They're taking your money to kill us with it. Stop all this streaming and apping and this and that of all the people. You're giving your money to the people that are trying to kill your children. How stupid do we have to be to keep giving these people our money? Cut them off. And yeah, it's not convenient. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm like, well, I can't use them anymore. I'm not buying that anymore. I'm not going to order from them anymore. I'm not watching that channel anymore. I'm not, throughout the years, I've just cut them off. But it doesn't work if it's only one guy. Everybody's got to stop giving the bad guys the money to kill them with, or giving the bad guys the money that they're going to kill your children with. Stop it. Don't be so dumb. Cut them off. Stop going to Disney.
Absolutely. All right. I have 2:30, bottom of the hour, so we're going to come back at 2:45. 15 minutes. Gotcha. Thank you, Jeff. See you in a minute. All right. I wanted to address this right here. Arlene Calderon, thank you for posting this. Mr. Floyd, do you send messages in Telegram? I will never, ever solicit you for anything. The only time I will send you anything is if you send me something, either email, a text, a Telegram, direct message. I will reply. That's why I tell all of you, please pick up a phone and call me. I'm not tripping, okay? I answer my phone, this number that you can go get. I will answer it. I would much rather speak to you than have to stop doing what I'm doing, go over here, open up some communication portal to answer with a text. I'd much rather you call me. I can tell you real quick, no, that's not me. So, am I soliciting anyone on Telegram? No, absolutely not. Those are counterfeit, fake fraudsters who steal my identity, steal Mark Z's identity. Anybody who's a social media influencer, they will steal your identity, especially people that are trustworthy, like myself. They prey upon that faith and integrity that you have in me and my information, that they're going to utilize that to scam you out of your money. I'm even getting them, look, these idiots will create their own profile with my logo on it, my name with the copyright. It doesn't have the blue circling copyright symbol, which means I'm a premium Telegram subscriber. I pay to be on Telegram, absolutely. So if it doesn't have that blue circling copyright next to the black copyright that never moves, that's not me, okay? And again, nobody from my show is going to solicit you. We don't have time. We're not out here trying to scam people. We're trying to learn the truth. We're trying to get everything that we can to be prepared for whatever the hell's coming, because we don't know what's coming. Anything can come. You've heard all kind of information on just this show today alone about the potentialities of what could happen. And because of the election, anything is possible. These people there's nothing they won't do. They're giving away free abortions, free vasectomies at the Democratic National Convention. Are you serious? They dyed the Chicago River red? Folks, that is a satanic ceremony going on in Chicago. And don't think for a minute it's not. You saw the sacrifice on day one. Now you're going to see every day, you're going to see Kamala there. Go and make her a little appearance. And when they say it's all a movie, believe me when I tell you this, because I am a professional stagehand and rigger, and I've done some of the top shows in the world here in Houston, Texas, and the technology that they have, they can produce anything and make you believe anything. That's why I always tell you, do not believe what you see, hear, or read. Go vet it yourself. Do the best job that you can. And if you can't find the answer, reach out to somebody that you trust, that is a good researcher, who will go dig and find the truth. And that's what you're looking for. No, Jeff does not want to be president, so don't throw him under the bus like that. Yeah, so y'all beware. I'm even getting the emails from, the Nigerian princes. Oh, I got this inheritance of $11 million. If you'll just do this, spam, go away. So, yeah, it's a sick world we live in. Okay. And I always say this, when you hear these phrases like, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Well, have you ever heard the phrase hell on earth? Because it's my own opinion that we're in hell. It may seem like we're free and that we have free will, but we're really in hell. We're in our own little prison planet, as Alex Jones likes to call it. And we've been miseducated, dumbed down, institutionalized, and programmed our entire lives. And it continues to this day, every minute of every second of every day. They're trying to do this to you so they can control you. Thank you for being here, because this is a place where you're going to learn about what that control looks like and how to prevent it in your life. And all I seek is the truth, folks. I bring on who I feel is a guest with a lot of knowledge, definitely more intelligent than I am, to pick their brain. As this show progresses and I learn my guests, I will be able to narrow them down. I will get them to where their answers are more short, concise for you guys so they don't ramble. So forgive me for that. Okay. Just work with me. Please be patient. I'm learning these individuals just as much as you are. And basically, we all came to the conclusion last night that it seems the older you get, the more you want to talk. And I guess it's because you have all this wisdom and experience and knowledge that you really want to share. And because your life experience has been so vast and so enormous that it's difficult to say or tell a short story. And that's where we are. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. I am the Fearless Floyd Show across every social media platform. If you want to reach me, the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. If you need a trust, you want a trust book, you need a class, you want to learn something, head on over to my store. Go check that out. Got some new decals coming. I just ordered them. The books are ordered. The books will be here the first week of September. Labor Day is probably going to put a little hink in it. But expect those in your mailbox mid-September. As quickly as I can get them out to you, they will come. I will see you guys in 8 minutes at 15 till. Thanks for watching. And I've got more and more and more coming for you. Dr. Kia Ebeling, PhD, past life regressionist, clinical hypnotherapist. She will be on the show. I will have more people. Mickey Clan, Bonds for the Win, Operation Restore Public, I believe it is. She'll be on the show. So I have some more guests coming up. Won't be all about the RV news. These will be people who are sacrificing their time, money, and energy for the betterment of humanity. And as always, my show is open to anybody who would like to come on, be a guest. Or if you have a specific topic that you would like to hear about, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to bring those people on. Anybody that I talk about on this show, Wolverine, Elizabeth, Bruce, any of those people out there, even the troll that's been over here beating us up, hey, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Please come. Okay? Express to everybody your own opinions, your own beliefs, your own bona fides. Because if you go on these other shows and you refuse to come on this show, it's very telling that you're avoiding this show. Because if you're avoiding this show, you're avoiding the truth, because that's what I want. And that's what I'm going to seek. So if you can't come over here, that means you don't want to come tell the truth. You're going to come tell lies. So instead of coming and tell lies, you're just going to avoid it altogether. Because I'm going to hold you accountable. Absolutely. And when I do, I won't have other people on the show. I won't have Buffy over here buffering for me. I won't have Jeff on here either. It'll just be me and them. I control everything. I control the narrative. I control the show. It's my show. So if you're going to come on my show, and I've invited you, please be prepared. Don't come half-stepping, because I'm going to expose you. So again, everybody has an open invitation. Please come on. I more than welcome you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Peace in the Middle East. And if you're coming to save the world, hurry up. We're all waiting.